My name's Quentin Reynolds, I'm 43 going on 44. A few months ago I was in a bar with some friends, sports bar, been watching a boxing fight. I made a negative comment to a friend. He then bet me £200 that I couldn't get fit enough to fight as a professional. But the other point is, the purpose of doing this is to show how fit you can get through boxing. So I haven't done anything like this before, so I'm sort of starting as couch potato-y type person, but with an eye on the health aspect. So we start in a couple of days' time, so see what happens.
Well, that's why I'm very strict and I'm hard when it comes to the training side of it. When I take people on to train, the first 2 to 3 weeks I ease them in gently to do it, but I start picking the pace up gradually as we go along, and then we really start working.
We've arrived here on the second day of training, and basically the gym's been repossessed. It's closed, and we've got nowhere to go and train. So I've swung Joe, and he's going to go and find somewhere else. They've even taken down the sign, which is a bit mental, really. Or someone's nicked it for a souvenir. I suppose it's worth it, whatever. So off I go. No training today. Going over Mars Bar, I think.
Joe has found another venue for Quentin to train. Based in Finchley, London, my gym is owned by Don Charles, a trainer, manager and Joe's long-term friend.
Once those bandages are on, there's a ritual box that goes through. You go through your motion, you go through all your punching techniques, and that also gets you, it's a part of your warm-up routine, okay? So you're not putting the gloves on while you're sort of cold, you know? You already get yourself going. Come on, 1, 2, hook, cross. Come on, where is it? 1, 2, hook, cross. There you go, come on, 1, 2, hook, cross.
10 days. He's kicked into it because not only has he's training with me, he's training with another trainer, Charles, in the morning. So he gets trained in the morning and trained in the evening by 2 trainers who have got contrasting styles, which would make him a better person when it comes to actually boxing. And that's his own doing. I haven't suggested him. He came to me and asked me, do you mind if I train? I said, no, go ahead. It's good to have 2 types of trainers. There's world champions who've got 3 trainers. There's fighters in this where you've got 2, 3 trainers train them anyway. I like to go in hard and take yourself to the limit. And when you're training, if you're training for an hour, train for an hour. When I say train for an hour, all this minute breaks and this and that, I like to go through them. With my heavyweight John, when he was sparring, when he was young, 17, 18 years old, I had him in the ring for half an hour, non-stop, changing different people to spar with, and he had to learn to deal with all different types of styles. Obviously with Quentin we can't do that at the moment because his is such a short period of time, 6 months. So the sparring that he'll do with me, and maybe there's a couple other people I might chuck him in with to spar with, to get a contrasting in styles. We'll do it that way.
Now Quentin can settle into months of hard training ahead.
9, 10, stay in that position, 10 press-ups.
Despite the regime, old habits die hard, and Joe soon catches Quentin cheating on his strict diet.
The car was parked in the car park there by McDonald's and Nando's. Where were you? Nando's or McDonald's? Be truthful.
No, I was a neighbour.
No.
I went and had my lunch and dinner, which was 9 nuggets.
You were in McDonald's?
Yeah,
Why do you go to Nando's? Most people go to a weigh-in, have a weigh, and then they go and have spaghetti or pasta or jack potato or something like that. He goes and has McDonald's.
Don Charles takes Quentin through the many boxing moves he will need and some conditioning while Joe concentrates on building his fitness and stamina.
This is all part of the boxer's ritual. It has to be done. Okay, it has to be done. That is 49. Come on. Yeah.
Training includes many varied techniques, with skipping and running forming a vital part in getting Quentin into shape and fighting fit.
Reach for it. 13, there you go. Come on, spring it. 14, make it snappy. 15, there you go.
This is my first weblog. We've been doing this for 5 weeks now. This is the 5th week. Change in body quite considerable. Feel a lot better in my head. A lot sharper. Get things done a bit more. Still a little bit sluggish, but I think that's down to the shit. I'm still eating a bit of shit food. And what we need basically to get a nutritionist on board, get rid of the fat around the middle, to look at the process of getting my stomach down, which is currently dropped 2 inches, down by another 3 inches, and to firm up on the legs and just to train to get a lot of leg muscle and definition there.
Straight, yeah, and then do it. Go on, pull yourself, go on. Yeah! 1, 2, wicked. 3, there you go, power. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's good, just give me 10. That's very hard, my friend, yeah? I couldn't do 10.
So do you tend to get little pains in your head after you've done a lot of training sometimes?
So we get
You get like pains in your head?
Of course,
You
yeah.
do, okay, I just want to double
No,
check.
it's normal. It's the blood pumping, blood circulating, pumping. Because you know, you've been straining it, yeah, right? All of a sudden you stopped. The body thinks you're still working out.
Gotcha.
Entering the 6th week, Joe's increasing the pace.
Push it. The bell's gone.
Introducing new exercises on a daily basis. This includes additional bag work, shadow boxing, floor exercises and spin cycling sessions.
I think he's doing really well. He's got great recovery rate, and he likes to do everything right. That's what I like. He does everything right. Even when he's tired, he'll push himself to the limit to get there. And if I say, oh, once or twice I've tested him by saying that would do for today, he'll go, no, I want to finish it. And that's what I like.
Quentin Reynolds is a self-confessed couch potato who at 43 has set out to become as fit as a professional boxer and have a fight in 6 months.
You in McDonald's?
I'm still eating a bit of shit food and going to have a Mars bar, I think.
But he is not keeping to his diet, so he's going to seek advice on nutrition.
I always say to people initially, I think the more rigid and structured you are in your diet and the more focus you get on your nutrition, I think sometimes people almost get so blinkered that you need to be flexible. I think that's one big thing is, you know, I might recommend to one athlete a certain thing and say to them, look at this, possibly consider this. But then to another athlete, they might be in the same training squad, something totally different, because, you know, it's very individual, a diet. I think obviously, you know, if every day you're tucking into a Mars bar, then obviously, you know, you start to say, well, you know, as you've said, is there possibly something I can fill it with or change it to something which might be a little bit better for me? You know, in a way, the diet is such, you can eat what you like, but at the same time, it's almost that marriage of eating what you like, but at the same time knowing that you've got certain limitations about how many times you can probably eat those things. You want to keep your fat content quite low if you can. So, I mean, it's quite generic, but if you say about 10, I would say about 10% of your diet, you're looking at fat. And with the fat we're talking is try and keep away from saturated fats and, you know, these trans fatty acids they're talking about now. So you look at things like fish oils, omega-3, any sort of nuts are quite good in terms of provide some sort of fat, but they also give you a little bit of protein in there as well. It's one thing to be focused on protein and getting protein content in, but, you know, above maybe sort of 2 grams for every kilogram of your weight, that's excess. Your body is going to start damaging it. It's of no benefit at all. What you also find is if you have a lot of carbs, you also get a lull. I don't know if you ever felt that sort of mid-afternoon kind of sleepiness, which is from the carbohydrates you eat at lunchtime. So what you don't want to do is have a breakfast that's very high in carbs, and then suddenly for the mid-morning you're a bit kind of lethargic, and when you want to get in the gym and do a good session. So I'd say just eat a nice light breakfast, some fruit, some yogurt, something like that. And then if you've got training sessions during the day, obviously it gets harder to have structured meals at set times. But I think the main things you focus on is that during the course of the whole day you have the carbohydrates and the protein across the day that you should.
Come on. Yes, come on. Come on. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2. Get off the ground. Get off the ground.
Quentin takes the advice on board, but his lapses and the pace of the training start to take its toll.
2. That's good. Come on. 3. Come on. 2. 1. Go back. Thank you. All right. Yep. Nice one.
Oh, I'm fucked. I am naked.
Yeah, that is hard. That is hard. Well, that's your lot then, mate. Get your trainers on. Let's.
Can we leave that today?
Well, the runs.
Oh, fucked.
Yeah. We're sparring today, so you need to. And then you run tomorrow. What part of tomorrow are you sparring?
Afternoon.
Afternoon again.
Just do running tomorrow and then come and do this match here.
Yeah. So fucked. Alright. This is intensity, my friend. It doesn't get more intense than this because we're training you, as far as I'm concerned, the same way we would train a professional boxer.
Yes.
Preparing for a fight.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing.
Quentin's progress with boxing. It's one thing learning something, and it's another thing for that thing to enter your system. We're at the stage where I believe he started to enter his system. When you learn the moves and you start to execute the moves, and when they look natural, when you do it effortless, the moves he's learned in the last 6 weeks is only just now doing it without thinking too much about it. We're making good progress.
Let's go!
The reality of the intense training and the massive lifestyle change are now kicking in, and after only 6 weeks in, Quentin is doubtful about carrying on.
Upset me.
It might hit your back otherwise. Let's go. Come on. Don't give up. Whack his back, son. And let me see 10 good ones. When Quentin decided he'd like to try this project that he's doing now, to do a 6 months intense boxing training course and to have a fight at the end of it after the 6 months to see how he's progressed. He came in very enthusiastic, and not to say that he's not enthusiastic now, but boxing training is different to most training where you have to do running, you have to do the gym work, you have to do sparring, there's quite a lot of things you have to get into. And Quentin was, the first 6 weeks, he was training quite well, he was getting into it, but like most training sessions, you get to a stage where it becomes like a humdrum thing in your life. By the way, the punches behind the back of the head are illegal.
Was I punching the back of the head?
You'll see.
Sorry about that.
That's alright. I'll get you back next time.
So what are you going to fat lip?
I can give you a fat lip. You kept dropping your hand.
Fuck, it was very long war.
Ooh. Right, legs down flat. Feet together. From that angle, touch your knees 10 times. 1, 2.
To give him a morale boost, a meeting has been arranged with former British and European welterweight champion Dave Boyd Green.
My name is David Robert Green. I started boxing when I was 13 years of age. I had 105 amateur fights up to I was 21 when I then turned professional. I turned professional in 74. I had 41 professional fights, 137 the last 4. And in them 41 fights I won 2 British championships, the British low welterweight and the British welterweight champion. And I won the European low welterweight and the European welterweight champion.
What's the thing you didn't like most about training?
There was nothing. I love training, and it's crazy because when I first started professional boxing, I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing my road work. I'd leave my house about 6:30 for work. I used to work on a farm, on a carrot farm. I'd work then till about 4:30, and you know, I think that's the way to do it. But I never worried about fighting because I believed in myself. I believed that I could do it, and I think you can make it. You're gonna be in the championship.
Me.
But you like me, you got a good start, because you're ugly. I didn't mean it.
Oh, thank you, darling. Well, basically, when I set out to do things, I set out to do them and I do them properly. And I'm not going to give up now. It'd just be stupid. I mean, there's several times I thought I can't be arsed. But, yeah, you do that with a lot of things, I think, in life.
With renewed focus on the task ahead, Joe and Don Charles introduced Quentin to hill work and running routines.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay, how are you? How do you feel, Quint?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Really, how do you feel, Quint?
I feel alright, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah, not at all, no problem. If we had to go back to the gym and work out, I'd be alright.
Yeah?
Because you got to a stage now, you know, you've got to do it. It's week 12 and halfway through the training schedule. My trainers don't think I've done enough. I've got to really kick it in a bit. Food, you're not sticking to anything particularly, but I'm losing weight and I just need to get some sort of, now, this week, I need to get some structure to what I do and what I eat. I've been wearing my heart rate monitor and seeing how many calories I burn. It's quite amazing. I do about 15 in the workout. When I do run, which I've got to do more of, it's another 500-600 calories, which is pretty cool. I mean, in the bloody solar plexus hard, that I had to sit up in my bed for a week in pain. Your trainer does that to you, does it?
Well, Quentin, for one, I didn't hit you in the solar plexus.
Well, where did you hit?
I hit you up the ribs.
Okay.
I hit you in the rib. I bruised your rib, and that's part of boxing. Unfortunately, your bruised rib lasted longer than it should have done, which means you were soft. But you're not soft anymore. You become a little bit firmer, and you've become a little more determined from the bruise. You know, it's made you stronger. I mean, I would have said 99% of people who didn't have to box would have called it a day, but you haven't. I like your enthusiasm. You have to have the smack in the face. You have to have the black eye. You have to have the bruised lips. You have to get smacked in the jaw. You have to have the dizzy brain for a little while, because when you're in your fight, that will happen. So what do? How do you cope? Unless you do it in sparring and training, you won't know what to do when you actually get hit. And believe you me, as much as you're training and fitness, and when you actually get in the ring, time goes so quick. It's a blink of an eyelid. And when you're fighting someone at your own standard, they just come up, bang. It's like two people flinging punches from every single angle just to get one in. And 50% of your fitness, your mental stamina is gone by the time you get into the ring, because you're thinking about the fight, what you're going to do, what's this person going to do. And as I said, when you get into the ring and it's going to start, your legs go. They get weak. And then you start banging about, you start dancing about, but moving around in the arms, and you're ready to go. But the bruising, the bruises, is part of the game.
I look forward to more then.
You look forward to it. Fantastic.
I found out something about myself this week, which is I don't like pain. I'm more like this joke to Jar. I'm a lover, not a fighter, because he's the trainer. And we had a sparring session for early part of the week Monday, and he hit me really hard in the body shot. I don't mind being smacked in the head. I didn't cope with that. I don't know why. It must be mental, but getting hit in the... I hate getting hit in the stomach. Always had that when I was a kid. I used to lock people down when I fought, because I was a bit of a street kid, you know, street fighter. So I used to just not get... I'd hate getting hit. I'd just close people down. And with boxing, you're exposed, and I'm not scared of getting hit in the tummy and then in the chest. And after he whacked me before, and the rib, really fucking hurt. You know, do a double shift, a double workout with Joe. Unfortunately, something's happened. He can't make it. So I'm going out with a couple of dollies. Yes, why not? I won't eat too much food though. I won't stay out too late because I have training tomorrow, 8:30. I really don't want to do it today, but I really don't want to do it actually. But I'm going to have to. I've got 2 sessions today with the boys. With Joe. Got 2 sessions with Joe. Sorry, I'm a bit fucking knackered actually. Okay, so I went out last night with some mates and ate a load of food and a load of drink, and that's going to stop. So I'm feeling knackered. Don't want to do this, but I'm going to have to, don't I? That's how it is, really. Yeah. Off I go. On my jolly old way. Yes.
As hard as you can. Try to see if you hit me with the ball on my chin. Come and hit the ball.
It's now 10 weeks in with 16 weeks to go. So far his training has been learning the moves and building fitness. His doubts have come and gone, but there is a bigger challenge ahead. This will test him further and he will have to face the fact that he will be getting hit full on and without mercy. This is when his lapses in training and diet will catch up on him.
Just remember, I'm an old pro-ish boxer. That is. Excuse me. And anybody at your level won't do what I can do.
Hi, it's me again. It's recording week 15. This week had a couple of injuries. One was smacking the ribs, again higher this time than before, by my good old Joey boy. Hurt like fuck. At the time I thought, well, I can't be arsed with this, why am I doing it? Changed my attitude a bit. Spoke to both trainers. I mean, Joe thinks I should be sparring now. Charles doesn't think I'm ready, so I'm going to have to address that on Monday.
Little does Quentin know that Joe and Don Charles intend to throw him in at the deep end on Monday morning at the gym.
Stop filming.
I've been up there for months.
Only believe gentlemen, you will box.
Yeah, okay. You are. So what is it then? Top of spot.
Round 1, touch gloves, between, break. Don't forget, when the going gets tough, grab him, yeah? Yeah, grab him, hold him, and I'll say break anyway, okay? He's moving, Quentin, he's moving. Yeah? You've got to cage him down. Now, time for you to put him forward drive, yeah? Come on, gutsy. Forward drive. Forward drive. Quentin, forward drive, yeah? Forward drive. Back him off. Keep going forward. Go forward. Back him off. That's it. Back him off. Yeah? Take chances. Back him off. Hands up.
Off the hands.
Yeah? Rock and roll, Quentin. Further. Jump down. Break. Box. He first. Yeah? Don't go straight back in there.
No, come on, let's go. If you don't want to work, I'm going to work. You don't want to work, hand up.
Boy green. That's it.
Come on. Let's go, come on.
Good job. And again. Come on. Lock him up. Don't take it back. Lock him up. Come on. Release. Release.
Johnny Johnson, huh?
Where's the
You don't know what to kill. Come on.
Where's the uppercut?
Come on, work. That's it, I'm going to come on. Work.
Where's the uppercut? Where's your favorite shots? Time. All right, I know you're No, so Rocky. All right, no. One more. Sorry.
Help my mum. I don't even like her. I love her, but I don't like her. Oh, fuck.
Welcome to boxing, bro. You've been baptized.
Quentin Reynolds is a self-confessed couch potato who at 43 has set out to become as fit as a professional boxer and have a fight in 6 months. He is 15 weeks in and has taken to the task well, but with the occasional doubts, it's recommended he talk to a sports psychologist to discuss some issues he has, which still include his diet.
As a sports psychologist, I'm interested in helping people prepare for competition and then deal with the demands of competition. So the major problems faced by athletes are anxiety in competition and also dealing with the demands of training.
What I find is, the harder I work, the more I want to go and do something naughty.
As a reward.
It's a reward.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh, I can reward myself now because I've been so good. But then, of course, it's detrimental.
I think also you got to consider the fact of where you're coming from into the sport at the moment, and at the same time you're trying to change habits that you've had in terms of nutrition, general lifestyle and training. So you're trying to make an awful lot of changes probably in a short period of time. So I think you need to consider that, and that may affect your own behaviour. What you may benefit from is setting more specific goals and be more process orientated. So you realise that you've got to have maybe a certain body fat level, or you may need to be a certain weight. But rather than focusing on the outcome, you actually spend more time worrying about the processes or thinking about the processes. So you either record what you're doing in terms of nutrition and keep a food diary, but also keep records of all the other training that you do every day.
The pressure is on, but the advice has helped. His training has stepped up to another level yet again.
Give me 4 next time. Give me 4.
It's my birthday today and I'm 44 and I'm feeling very well today. A bit pleased that we've changed the training regime on that side of things, on the training side of things. I'm feeling good actually, yeah. Well, about a year ago this shirt would be very tight on me, or just a little bit out like that. And now it's all flowing like it's a big huge shirt. But, so that give you an idea, there's that now, and that was this then. So I actually filled this shirt out. It's very full.
Sharper, letter U. Come on, letter U. I want to see that move. I want to see that.
Don Charles introduces Quentin to new techniques, packing in months of work into a few short weeks.
Again. That's what it is. Again. 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 Again.
Right, just picked up a gum shield today, which has been specially made for me. Here it is. You've got my name on it. The perfect fit. £120. That'll stop me getting my teeth knocked out, hopefully.
Right. Set. When you set, as you set, that foot's going to be round. That's it. Okay.
With training, there is the inevitable injury, which is when a visit to the physio can help.
Posture first of all. So any pain as you're standing there, or that's all okay?
No pain.
Okay. Then check you're in alignment there, excuse me. Turn around for me. With boxers, tend to get some upper limb problems because of using the pecs, get the power of the shoulder muscles. They can have some sort of impingement, obviously trauma sort of injuries. And also looking at the lower leg itself, if he's rotating on his knees, he'd also done some cartilage damage in there, so that's what we're just having a little look. With the biomechanics, with the muscle balance, then we can give them exercises and try and prevent any sort of injuries occurring. Straighten out for me. There we go. Just try and relax as we straighten out there. Okay, so this is again, which is a provocative test. We're trying to see if the...
So I had a bit of an injury in my legs and he just put me right in a few items for later on, how to watch what I'm doing. It's really good, made me really refreshed and sort of ready to go. So I'm going to have a few of those over the next few months because they really help as you're training to get rid of a few aches and pains. You go for a run, then come have some porridge. But I never do the run, I always do the run with my trainer, so you have some porridge, a mug or a cup, and then with some bananas. And that's it for breakfast. No, that's my breakfast. That's what I'll do, so I'm going to go running with the camera and see how I feel at the end of it. Should be very interesting. Back runner. Nice little warm up anyway. Yeah. The most difficult part of training for me is getting up in the morning. Less so now, but when I first started it was. But once you're there, so you just get on with it. Running I would not do if I had Didn't have a trainer to try to run with me. It just wouldn't happen. Not to the extent we train really hard, we run really hard. Getting to a point now where I'm outrunning my trainer, which is funny. But that's good. Yeah, so if I sound a bit monotone, it's because I'm knackered, because I just trained this morning and I just had some porridge, so it's a bit like
Quentin Reynolds is a self-confessed couch potato who at 43 has set out to become as fit as a professional boxer and have a fight in 6 months. He has taken on 2 trainers, Joe Gregory and Don Charles, to help him and is now 22 weeks into his process. Joe has brought in British heavyweight boxer John McDermott to take Quentin through his paces and some friendly light sparring.
The fight, it's hard, you get snappy, you get nervous all the time, so you take it out on people, but other than that, it's okay. It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking to think some bloke wants to bash your head in. No, it's alright, it's good. No, it's, once the fight's finished, you can't wait to get back in again. That's what I mean, it's really weird to explain. Once you've experienced it, you want to get back there again. But before the fight, you get really nervous, and you think, oh, bloody hell. But like after the fight's done and you've won or you boxed well, you want to get back in again as soon as possible.
Jeff, step back, Joe. Go back, go forward in the jab, that's it. Get with it, Jeff. Go. No, push it back. Well, get your head out there, because it'll work. Please, come on. No. Don't say no. Half a round, 2 minute one. And you 2 minutes. Quentin, this is what the stamina is all about. This is how you make stamina. Fight with big guys like him. That's right. Keep your face, man. Jab and move. 1 minute straight. You've only got 60 seconds to go. 60 rounds a second. 60 seconds.
fuck it.
Don't let him do that. Give it back to him. Push it back, Richard. Bring your cheek. Get it, nice. Push it back. Time. Well done. Good, well done. Right, come up. Come back to the fight. Come shoot.
Oh, fucking hell. I don't want to be a boxer anymore.
Come on, sit up, take me gloves off.
Thanks, John.
So? Good.
Thanks, mate. That's good. I do that.
Yeah. You'll find, with that bit of what you've just done today, you'll feel a lot more relaxed. Yeah. Your shoulders will be relaxed and your whole body's going to be relaxed. Where you were tight, that moving about, John pulling your butt and all that. And this, what you think you've done a round with John, you've actually done 2 rounds with somebody your own size, or, you know what I mean?
Easy.
That's what you're thinking of. You've done 2.5, you've actually done 5 rounds with a normal person.
Okay, so this is week 22 of 26. We've come a long way, obviously. Been training with John McDermott, a heavyweight guy. He's number 8 in the country, which has been interesting because he's just so fit for the guy. He's another couple of stone heavier than me, about 3 stone heavier. I'm absolutely on the button at 14 stone right now, and I want to get down another stone. I don't know how much that's possible, if that's possible, but really watching the food. Been really quite good actually, which makes a change. Also going to the gym earlier in the training session, so I'm going there about half an hour before Joe does, 2 or 3 times a week. Next week it's going to be every day. Get there, start getting warmed up. I prefer to warm up myself. I don't want him to train, get me warmed up, because it's just like, that's so hard work. So if I do it under my own steam, it's better. So I'm doing at the moment 2 to 2.5 hours in the morning, an hour and a half in the afternoon. So that's at least 4 hours a day.
The process is coming to an end with only a few weeks left to prepare for the big day.
Well, this is week 26. Next week's 27, and that's when we have a fight at the end of it on the 15th. So obviously training very hard, sparring now, I've got a black eye. And we'll be sparring the rest of this week and training next week to run it down a bit, and then we have the fight. See whether I actually would have been able to become a professional boxer had I have been a lot younger.
As he gets himself ready for the fight, Quentin sets out to talk to a boxing manager and promoter to find out what roles these people play in a professional boxer's life.
The role of manager is obviously looking after the fighter in every aspect, arranging fighters, arranging a training plan, making sure they have a correct professional trainer to train them. It's, you know, making sure that that trainer is training them correctly, dividing that program so that that boxer is going to get advantageous, you know, is advantageous to the fighter, setting up fights for him, you know, sort of liaising with promoters and sort of getting fights for the fighter, which again would be advantageous to him in his future career. There's a lot more as well personally, you know, they always say don't get too involved with your fighter, but you know, you're on a sort of like everyday basis with him, and you know, it's hard not to. You know, you've got to make sure that those opponents are going to be advantageous to him, and you've got to make sure that the whole package is there. So, you know, you get a good promoter, good manager, obviously that's myself, and then you get a good trainer, and you know, it's a full one-stop package for that fighter, and you're in charge of everything. So if it all goes wrong, it's your fault as the manager because you're managing that package.
First thing you have to do is find a venue, and the venues can be expensive, especially
how much typically?
Well, you know, if I was doing a card around this way, and the purses came to about 15 grand, which is not a lot of money, but the small shows I do around it, if the purses come to 15 grand, the venue and the overheads before I start, as an average, cost me £6,300. So it's £6,300 before you sell a ticket. So you've got to pull back a bit of money. And that's why small shows, without the help of TV, nine times out of 10, always lose money. And then, you know, and as a businessman, you would say, well, why do you do it? And you would say the same thing to most small promoters. It's purely a love affair. Boxers are boxing people. And boxing to me has always been a vocation.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm James.
I'm Quentin, how you doing?
Hi, let's go.
It's the weigh-in before the fight, and Quentin will also be taking a VO Max test, which will show how fit he is after all the months of training. Prior to this, he had one last check with his doctor.
Okay, jump off there. Straps on tightened up. Okay, increase your speed by 0.5 kilometre every minute. So you're going to start off at 8 kilometres an hour, increase by 0.5 every minute. We're going to run you until you fatigue. Okay, what you need to do first of all, just put your hand over the mouthpiece and just breathe out very lightly. Just very lightly. Okay.
Is that recorded down there today?
That's it, we'll record that straight away. So now I'm just going to get you up to, put you up one on the gradient. So we'll run it once, mimicking outside conditions. And we're going to take you up now to 8 kilometres nice and slowly. Let's just start to move. Okay, we'll start the test. There you go, take a few nice big deep breaths.
Thanks, mate.
So your beauty makes sense.
they're 45 millilitres per kilogram per minute, so that's 45 millilitres of oxygen per kilogram of lean body mass per minute your body's consuming, which is a good baseline measure for beginning your fitness off. From past research we've been looking at over the last couple of days, for middleweight amateur boxers we're looking around 43 to around a 50 to 57 mark as they're going into professional.
I have the residual fitness of a middleweight boxer, amateur, who's going to professional for the age range between 24 and 30. I'm 44, so I'm quite chuffed. Who's the dad? Cool. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Very good. I mean, I was expecting you, well,
What? Come on, honestly.
to have a lower sort of residual fitness. No, but obviously you've been doing your work, so, you know, you said to me you've been doing your work, and therefore, scientifically, the results show the results show that you have. And the thing is, you cannot read science, really, can you?
No, that's right.
And that's why I'm a great believer in science, because it's just depicting now that you have been doing your residual sort of like work that we've been saying to you to do.
It's the day of the fight. Joe and Don Charles have picked a boxer most matched to Quentin's abilities for a 10-round bout of 3 minutes each with 1 minute breaks between rounds. After 6 months and many hours of training, injuries, doubts and lapses, Quentin has won his bet. He has trained as a professional boxer and had a fight, giving his opponent a bloody nose.